Hello, this is teddygaming and welcome back to another review on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles tmnt, the OW ongoing series, issue 139. So yeah, this issue was really weird and interesting for a variety of different things that happened in this issue, but also not to mention the fact that this issue is going to be really hard to review just because there's not really too much that really went down in this issue. The main big key things that I can really think about that really happened in this issue was the fact that all the characters in this universe are somehow connected to the Turtles through gravity, past, present, future, science, and that sort of stuff. And then also the Turtles sort of realising seeing their future and then going into the game properly. So yeah, it's really interesting with the things that happen in this issue, while also not really doing much, so it's interesting. Okay, so to start this review off, I'm going to start at the beginning, and again, there's not really too much I can really say. So basically, the Turtles end up in the thin place, and we're talking to Saki, and this is something which I didn't really enjoy too much, and it's not because anything really bad, but I'll say that we're going from the last issue, which was issue 7 of the game, to then also going to this one, where there's no sort of, they didn't really explain how the Turtles really got here again, and I do think that this was like a really key factor that I do think that was missing from issue 7, but just because you go from, the Turtles all split up in different places, doing their own things, stopping each character and stuff like that, and then also there's also just in this place, learning about a new magical 10th cut and stuff like that. So I do think that I would prefer maybe some sort of information, or just maybe a little bit in between the two issues to explain Shredder, the Turtles and stuff like that, because I feel as though that bit was missing. I don't know, I hope that makes sense. I just feel as though there's something missing between the two issues. So that's when Shredder reveals to the Turtles that it's a 10th cut and he's not going to be the one teaching it to them. It's actually going to be Kitsune, and all the Turtles are actually really surprised by this. Now the thing is, for me, I wasn't really too surprised by this. Actually, I was quite glad to see Kitsune finally do something, just because Phantoms are, supposed to be this big bad thing in this universe, they're supposed to be these big gods and stuff like that, and they've hardly done anything in this game, so to see at least someone doing something was quite good to see. And that's when Kitsune reveals about the 10th cut, and also she goes on to explain about gravity and quantum DNA and stuff like that. And basically, to break it all down, it's basically that all these characters in this universe are all connected to the Turtles just because of the things that the Turtles do, the decisions that they make, the decisions that other characters make, and basically they're all connected through science or time. It's something weird like that, and it's interesting, I want to say, but at the same time, I don't really understand it, and this feels through that it just comes off as basically trying to say that all Turtles are the most powerful people in this universe. And this all comes off as basically saying that Turtles are the most important characters in this universe because basically the universe revolves around them. And I know that because the comic is basically centered on the Turtles because they are the title characters, I don't really know how I feel about them basically being the most important people in this universe and everything being centered around them. That's something which I don't think works all too well when basically saying that these are the characters and stuff like that, and these are the most important godlike characters and stuff like that. I don't know, I think it works, but at the same time, I feel like it doesn't feel like a story point of view and stuff like that, but at the same time, I feel so many things that go into this that make this a good thing, but also a bad thing for a variety of different reasons. And after this, the Turtles do agree to learn the 10th cut, and that's what they do, and here we do get to see some really interesting things. We do get to see the Turtles learning the 10th cut, and then seeing their past, their mistakes, their present, their future, and I think it's really interesting with some of the stuff I do get to see, such as Mikey being famous, Leo training the new Hamato clan, Donnie being that old little white guy, Raph leaving everyone, and then Jenica was, I don't really know if her future was actually being shown or if it was something else. It's quite hard to tell just because of the way that they, drawn the actual comic, and some of the stuff, it did feel a bit weird, basically showing the past, the present, future, mistakes and stuff like that. It did feel a little bit weird, so I'm not too sure what Jenica 1 was, but it happened. Now after this, the Turtles do talk to each other, and Mikey does sort of get a little bit disappointed by this, just because he doesn't want everyone to leave, and that's when Raph says basically maybe they should, just because they don't want everyone to get involved, they don't hurt anyone else and stuff like that. And I do think that it's interesting to see like Raph go off in this way, just because I think it's interesting seeing, just because all his characters sort of revolve around him, have either like died, been hurt, or something worse and stuff like that. So I do find it interesting that he want to go down this route. And then on the final page, we do get to see the Turtles and Kitsune get ready to go off to face Rat King, and that's when we do get to see the Rat King's big face in the sky saying basically the Turtles are not ready, and that's where we do lead or end things basically, and lead on to the Game issue number 8. Now I must admit with this page here, I am somewhat happy that it happened, just because I do like the big threat that Rat King is basically like proposing. He looks really menacing here. I absolutely love the artwork here. I thought it was really great, and I do think that the setup for next issue is really interesting with the way that things have gone down with Rat King and stuff like that. And I do think that overall, as of right now, I am really looking forward to seeing how it's going to play out, and really looking forward to seeing the fight between the Rat King and the Turtles. But I must admit, with how things have played out in the game, I just can't really say that I'm all too excited to see how things are going to play out. Sure, I'm going to be interested to see how it does play out, because I've invested a lot of time into this universe, but at the same time, whatever really happens, I just don't really care all too much, and that's a real shame, just because, again, I want to really care about this universe and what's going to happen, but at the same time, with what will happen, I don't know really, and also I don't really know what's really going to go down, so I've got a lot of questions about what will go down in the next issue, but at the same time, I'm sort of like emotionally checked out at this point in this universe, so I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time, who cares really. Now I must admit, overall, I do think that this issue was pretty decent, and it did give me a lot of vibes from issue 131, 132, when they was learning about the other cuts and stuff like that, which I thought was really great and really interesting to see back then, and to seeing it here now was really interesting, really great. But I also think that at the same time, because this was the second to last issue from this whole event, it did feel a little bit weird and out of place putting it right here, you know, when just like last issue it was a big action-packed one, taking down Noel and Krang. The next issue will be going up against Rat King and stuff like that, and then this issue they'll go around doing some martial arts in the woods and stuff like that, so it just felt really out of place in terms of all that. But I do think that it was really interesting with the things I do get to see, and I must admit, overall I do really enjoy it, but I do think it was a bit out of place. And yeah, and going into the next issue, I feel as though that I'm looking forward to it, but I do think that with how things are played out with the whole event overall, I don't think I can really say that it's going to be great, but at least next issue is going to be the final issue for the Summer game, so hopefully going onto the next issue for the RW ongoing series, it will go back to normal, hopefully, but whatever normal is really up to anyone's guess really, but yeah. So let me know in the comment section below what you think about this issue. Did you like it? Did you not? And yeah, so that's gonna be it for today, guys. If you do something, please share, like, subscribe, and all stuff. Goodbye, yo, and bye.